I've been doing a little bit of like festival stuff, and I'm finding that it's so fucking chaotic. Like you get in, you're in a tent, there's music going on in the background, and there's nothing. They got nothing fucking for you. So you just, as grassroots as you can go, that's the best way to do it, and that's kind of how I've been doing interviews.
Well, I always find at festivals too, they have the this is the press area, and everyone's rammed into the same, kind of every person. So in any filmed interview, you see all these other interviews in the background, and it's all in this kind of weird sterile space.
I've got a bit of Kaya's footage. Well,
cool.
I mean Brent Bjork, and in the background, some of the guys from Dillinger are just kind of fucking around waiting for their press, and I like the validity of it. But it's still distracting, and it's kind of loud. And
it's cool because in some cases kids don't get to see that side of things. So I understand that.
I went down to that Metallica festival, and the Dillinger guys are playing the Metallica pinball machine, and you're like, man, every kid should see this. That's the cool stuff. Right? And
exactly.
They're just fucking around in the back, waiting to do their press and get out.
It's funny because there's all that stuff that we take for granted, but then I feel like if you actually go to a festival as an attendee to see those areas that we take for granted, it's no, they're super nice, and you can sit down and it's really chill. Whereas the rest of the festival is crazy. So if you don't actually go out into the festival grounds, you don't really realize how nice you have it. In the spots.
I think the last time I saw you live was at Heavy TO.
Oh, okay.
I think that was 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
I didn't get one last year. Or no, it must have been last summer.
It was not this past summer, but the summer before. Yeah, because it didn't happen this past. Well, that's the thing. The bad part about the branding for Heavy TO is that it still happened.
Well, yeah.
They
bought all the bands in separately.
Well, it's just mayhem.
I know.
And that's what it was the year before too.
It was
essentially
Mayhem and Gigantour, and they just kind of melded it together. And added a few bands onto it.
But it sucks because nobody went to Heavy TO because
Toronto.
they thought
Toronto's
it was
a weird town for that.
Well, no, tons of people traveled in for it.
Yeah.
So when they saw because we went to Newfoundland at the end of August, and tons of people from there travel all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is they just didn't see Heavy TO, but they were like, oh, I guess we're going to Heavy Montreal.
Yeah.
And it was just the whole branding idea of it. It was just a bum out.
I've been to Heavy Montreal, and I don't know, there's 25,000 people on the island, and they're fucking right into it.
Yeah.
Girls and guys, right into it.
And
I love the 2 years that we got in Toronto, but they were not as well attended as Montreal.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's derivative of our crowd in TO, or if it's just...
I think it's just the culture in Montreal.
Maybe.
Same reason why Iron Maiden plays Montreal to 3 times as many people as they do anywhere else in North America.
Yeah.
Same with Quebec City.
True.
If they do 4,000 anywhere else, they'll play the Bell Center in Montreal, and then they'll play whatever 15,000 cap venue it is in Quebec City, and you're just I guess French people just love metal.
Yeah. Now we were talking just before we started a little bit about recording new material, and you guys are just kind of winding down the Dead Set on Living tour cycle. So
this is literally the last
days?
Yeah.
Nice.
We have this, and then we have dates with Red Fang.
Cool.
In December, and then that'll be it.
Just in the States, or are you going to do any Canadian stuff?
There is Montreal, Toronto,
okay.
Of the Red Fang shows. But again, we're only announcing it on Monday.
Yeah.
For the Toronto show, just because it's also at Lee's Bells.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've already sold that out on your own.
Yeah.
That's gonna be off the hook.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun, and I kind of am excited because we're only supporting in Toronto, and everyone was like, "Oh, we should headline," and I was like, "Why? We've headlined." Ourselves.
Something different.
Yeah, there's nothing to prove. I was like, we already sold it out by ourselves. I definitely don't care. And I was like, I'm more excited to play a 45-minute set.
For sure.
And enjoy my life.
Yeah.
Instead of a 2-hour set. Yeah, exactly. And then that's the only reason why we're doing the tour is because we really like those dudes.
I almost went down to the States to see the Valortech tour.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I was disappointed you didn't play Toronto, but I understand that.
Yeah, we bailed to go do festivals in the UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that Rec Room show was still really good.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'm also wearing a Cabela tech shirt.
Yeah, I got mine on, man. It says Cancer Bats in the back. But...
I know, we were on the whole tour, but I just missed a couple shows.
Yeah, it was still good to see Black Tusk.
Yeah, they're rad. Super good dudes.
Yeah.
We actually broke down on that tour and we had to like ride with Black Tusk.
What, the van? This van broke down?
This is actually our friend's van, so we don't even have a van anymore. We just like rent and pick up stuff when we can. So this is a buddy's that we're just ripping around in. But
crazy.
That's C'est La Vie.
I was checking out the Rats video. Like that just got launched 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, just at the start of this tour.
Can you talk a little bit about that? How that came together and your relationship with the guy that directed it?
That guy just hit us up on Facebook. Just like went to the band's Facebook.
Seriously?
Yeah, and was just like, hey, you guys are playing Bulgaria. Can I make a music video when you guys play? And we were like, yeah, totally, man. And dudes and like kids, people will ask us about doing like videos all the time, and it's awesome. We'll always just be like, yeah, sure. But it's usually like a guy who's going to school or like a kid who's going to school, and they're like, they have to do an editing project or something like that. Where this guy showed up with like 8 people with like 5D cameras, and like they were all wearing like matching shirts, and like, and then they ended up going to the venue again the week after to film all the like crowd scenes and stuff like that. So they filmed the live show to get all the footage, and then they went back to film all the like acting and all that stuff, which is basically just them moshing.
I like the little homage to the Lou Ferrigno Hulk series at the end with the ripping shirt.
Oh yeah. I thought the whole thing was awesome. Cool. That's why we went with it as like the actual official video, because we were just like, man, this guy killed it. Like he did such a good job, and it's like something we were all proud to be a part of. So we were like, yeah, totally. I was just really stoked. I couldn't believe that he had done all that work for free. But I think just in getting his name out there and like exposure. Yeah, exactly. And from that, a ton of people, I'm sure, have now seen the video that probably wouldn't have in in Canada especially.
Now when you first did the Bat Sabbath set, it was Download, right? You did it in the UK at the...
Oh no, it was a Sonosphere.
It was Sonosphere.
Sonosphere was the first time we ever did it.
Were you rehearsing that stuff before you put Dead Set on Living together?
Oh yeah. So that was around the same time that we were kind of like winding down the record, getting ready to start thinking about writing an album.
Right.
So it's the same kind of spot we're in right now.
So you were jamming Sabbath before you went in and wrote the last album.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah.
Like
yeah. So it was cool, that like idea that we've even now like extended further, like in terms of like taking on kind of like older songs and like learning all those old Sabbath songs and really getting stoked on the whole thing.
Cool. I dig that you guys are on that RDO website.
Oh yeah.
Is it Radio RDO? I don't know.
I always pronounce it RDO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah, they've been awesome. They just offered us like some free subscriptions to it to check it out, and it's cool because we've actually like amassed a bit of a following now.
Yeah. You're early adapters on that site, I think, anyway.
Well, Mike, I will say, is our RDO account holder.
Okay.
So he's the one who will like do most of the stuff. I'm not great at the internet, so Mike runs like our Instagram and runs our RDO.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a bump an iPhone. And I still have a BlackBerry. So I'll answer the emails, he can answer the RDOs, and we're covered.
Maybe you can't answer this, but do you know why the Sabbath EP is not on RDO? Is that a licensing thing?
Oh, I don't know. That could be a licensing thing. I honestly am 100% not sure. Maybe it's just like in terms of someone putting it up. Yeah, I don't know about that for sure.
There isn't a lot of like the original 4 core Black Sabbath stuff on RDO.
Oh, okay.
It's a holdout, and it's probably
maybe that's something to do with like their side of things with their management.
Did you cut that EP on vinyl? Like,
we did not. No, we just did it as like the EP. So the only physical copy is like the double reissue. Yeah. So it's like an actual EP as like the physical.
Right on.
But yeah.
I think I bought mine from iTunes actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was on the website right when it was released. I think it was a bit of a hold up, and I wanted.
And you're just like, I want it now.
Yeah. I did. That's the internet, man. Get it out of the way.
Exactly.
sounds like you're going to do Cancer Bat set first tonight, and then you're going to do Bat Sabbath afterwards.
Yeah, that's how we've been doing the whole tour. To do it as like kind of like Cancer Bats as the main set, and then Bat Sabbath as like the encore,
right?
Essentially, especially with some of the shows, like it just works better when everyone's like rowdier and drunker to do the Bat Sabbath stuff, because the songs are pretty mellow. Even like in our renditions, it's still like. You realize like how mellow a lot of Black Sabbath stuff is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to have that as the outro. And also some nights, it's just like if you have to work at 6 a.m. and you can only stay for half of the Bat Sabbath, I'd rather people be able to see the full hour of Cancer Bats. Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed the E-Bar show that I saw, and the crowd was pretty rowdy.
Oh yeah.
And small fucking venue too. It was
that's the thing. Cool. We were trying to do a lot of the shows in like smaller kind of venues, the same way that we started the tour with Touche, like doing smaller kind of spots. So hopefully some people will come and make it feel like a small venue in some of these. But like Lee's Palace is going to be crazy. I'm really excited about that. And we're doing Mavericks in Ottawa, and so that's going to be crazy too.
I actually thought about going tomorrow, because I think that show is going to be really fun.
Tomorrow's going to be rad, yeah. I'm really excited. Especially, to play like Toronto and have such like the show's almost sold out already in advance. So that side of things is nice to know. Hometown, still killing it.
Can you reveal anything about what you guys are doing as far as new material? Is there any stuff that's kind of laid out, or are you just feeling around right now?
Yeah, we're just like figuring it out. It's definitely in the talking stages right now, I would say. All of us are just like, kind of figuring out vibe-wise what we want to do, and having those kind of discussions of what, like, now that we've been doing all this touring, like what worked last time, what didn't work last time. Specifically on like the live side of things, because I know with DSOL we were just like, oh, this rules when we like are able to play a record front to back. So it's like, what fine-tuning can we do to those like sort of ideas to keep that kind of party going?
Right on. Can you talk a little bit, and I know this is kind of old news, but the Pentagram tour that you did in the UK, where you played 5 times in one day, that's a fucking feat. To do that 5 times, to get up there and sweat it out and do your set, and then tear down, set up, and do it again. How did that go for you guys?
It actually went pretty well. And I mean, it's kind of like the reason why we're able to do these double sets now, or why we're kind of able to be up for anything, because we've like known what like maximum potential we do have as far as endurance. But it was cool. We had like tons of logistics went into it to make sure that like the whole day would run smoothly, and planning out our routes like driving wise, and like making sure everything was cool. And then in the end, like it totally went smooth, and we were able to bang out all the shows, no problems. So.
Were there any hiccups?
No, it was like super easy in the end, like for doing the whole thing. So it was really cool that it kind of worked out that way.
That's kind of like running a marathon as far as a band goes. To do that, that many times in one day.
Yeah.
Like, how did that last set feel? Were you guys just done? Or?
Well, it's funny because like there is that point where, I mean, tour itself is pretty exhausting. Yeah. So there's lots of times when you have to like kind of push through, even though your body is like super tired and you're feeling out of gas. So there was that feeling, but then there was also the point in the night where we were on like our fourth set, where it was like a regular time for a show, and all of us got like our second wind. So it was like all of a sudden we had like tons of energy, and we're like running around the stage, even though we had already played 3 sets before that during the day. So it was cool to like have that kind of like burst where we're just like, oh yeah, all of a sudden like 7 o'clock you're ready to play another set. But it was fun. In the end, like I'm stoked that we were able to do it, and we're never gonna do it again. Is the big thing. People are like, oh, you should try it in another city. Like, no, I love that we did it, and it was so rad, and I think to like try and do it anywhere else would just like take away from it.
Cheapens it a little bit.
Yeah, to like, and I don't think it would work in any other city other than London, England. just like venue wise and vibe wise, and like
proximity is just so close. You can just drive to all these little sectors and get to a different venue.
And the big thing was that the kids could all just take the tube to like all the shows. So that side of things, like there was 30 kids that went to every single show.
I wondered how many people would do that.
Yeah, and I mean the shows are only like 150, 250 cap. Yeah. So to have like the same 30 kids up front partying the whole time was just like, oh, it was so rad.
I was thinking on my way here today about the first time that I saw you guys live, and that was when you were touring with Billy Talent, and you played the ACC, but then you did like the fucking Buffalo Icon down in Buffalo, New York. I drove over.
Oh, in 2007.
Yeah.
That
was the first time I saw you.
Yeah. No, we did. It wasn't the ACC. We did what's the outdoor? The Molson Amphitheater.
It was an amp show.
Yeah. And then we did that Buffalo show. That was where we became like really good friends with those guys. Was in 2007.
Because I'd seen the shirts around at that point, and I mean I was cognizant of your band, and you know that you played aggressive music, but I hadn't seen you and witnessed what a Cancer Bad show was until I saw you at that venue. So
at the Buffalo show, or that show was amazing.
I wanted to see a club show.
Yeah.
And to be able to see a band that will sell out, you know, here.
Yeah.
In a club that holds, what does that hold, 700, 750 people?
Oh, it was amazing. And to see, I think the best part about, like, watching Billy Talent in a club is that, like, whether it's, like, a 300 cap club in Minneapolis or, like, a 17,000 cap, like, auditorium, they, like, still put the same amount of energy into that show. Yeah. So when you're those 300 people in front of them giving their, like, 17,000 person like amount of energy, it is like the most insane like thing I've ever seen. Because I don't know, there's like no way to describe it if you haven't seen like it's like a stadium rock show in such a small venue, and you're just like, you guys are phenomenal. Like it's so cool. Touring with those dudes and like just like learning like this huge band that we all know about, and then becoming friends with them, and like all the Billy Talent dudes would like hang out with us and help us load their gear. Yeah. Or load our gear, sorry. Like, even while, like, they'd finished checking, but they're just having a conversation. So they're like, oh, I'll grab the other end of that drum case. Like, that's cool. Let's, like, go inside. And you're just like, you're the best dudes.
I liked leaving that venue and seeing all of you guys at the merch booth, like, shucking your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some shirts, CD.
Hanging out.
That's something you still do today.
Oh, yeah.
You like meeting your fans.
No, totally. Well, I mean, that's the thing for us. Like, we're not, you know, the biggest band in the world, and we are appreciative of all those people that have been supportive of us to, like, still be able to do this, you know, as a job. And the fact that we can still, you know, show up and have this much fun doing it, it's just, like, it's the best.
Awesome. That is cool. Oh, fuck, man. You know what? I'd love to know what you're listening to right now. Like, what's exciting you about music right
now? Stuff that's exciting right now. Oh, a new Power Trip. Super stoked on that.
I haven't heard it.
It's really good. It's like thrash from Texas. They're on tour right now with Terror.
Okay.
And it's a bum out that we don't get to see it. Like, they play Toronto the night we're in Ottawa. But that band's super rad. Trying to think of other stuff that's super good. Oh, one band that we were super excited about going on tour with was this band from Alberta that we know called Dusty Tucker.
Okay.
Super fun, like just like party, like cowboy metal from Red Deer, Alberta, and just like the best dudes ever. And I'm sure part of it is because I know how rad they all are, and that's why I like the band as much as I do. But man, we would watch their set every single night and just be like so pumped. It's like cool, awesome going on tour with a band like that, where you're just like psyched for them. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I'm excited about right now. Oh, I mean, all the new hardcore records that have come out. New Doom Riders is amazing. Right. New All Pigs Must Die is amazing. I just picked up, and hip hop, I just got the new Danny Brown.
Right on.
New Danny Brown is great for those who like hip hop. I don't know. Trying to keep up. Hey. Too many good records.
A lot of fucking bands. Right on, man.